it's Jessica Sinnemer, the Greenlight Coach, founder of Greenlight University, and star of the reality show Lights, Camera, Action. And in this video, I'm going to teach solutions that have helped me grow my business and help thousands of entertainment professionals around the world get more work, make more money, and live a fulfilling life. Sound good? Good. In the last video, we talked about why entertainment industry people have an easier time implementing these tools, and we also covered why if you really want to succeed in entertainment, this is the time to get the business part of your dream in order. And I gave you the 6 building blocks to set the stage for career success. If you haven't watched that last video, you should go back and see it and then come back to this one. In this video, I'm going to reveal to you what the elusive it factor really is and how you can project it. I'm also going to give you 12 real solutions for producing the new you. And I'll tell you why your success has nothing to do with your talent, but it is about who you know and being an outside-of-the-box thinker. And there's one word that changes everything, so listen for it. As always, I want to make this fun and easy for you, so make sure you download the PDF sheet that is right below this video. Now, you may just be starting out, or maybe you've been in the industry for years and this is all new to you. It can be intimidating or overwhelming, but don't worry. Not only have I been there, but I've heard it from every classification as to why they prefer to just focus on their craft and not the business. But once they start and they start seeing those results or just taking small actions, everything changes because it's empowering. And let me tell you, if some of my shyest or grouchiest clients can create success, you can too. The thing is, there is no such thing as an overnight success. Academy Award-winning actor Adrien Brody said, "My dad told me it takes 15 years to be an overnight success, and it took me 17 and a half years. Now that's not to say it can't happen faster. People say to me now, "But Jessica, this stuff comes so easily for you." Let me tell you, I was no overnight success. In fact, my first 5 years as an actress, all I did was study. I paid no attention to the business side. I knew no one in the business except my acting coaches and my fellow acting students. But once I was given some business tools to implement, mixed in with some outside-of-the-box thinking, 2 years later, after moving to LA, I created, produced, and starred in a sitcom pilot. Was it easy? Did it come naturally to me? No. It took guts. It took risks. It took getting out of my comfort zone, and it took sharing my passion. Because back then, they didn't have the accessible equipment you have today, and average Jane couldn't just shoot her own sitcom. Did I make mistakes? Yes, I made a lot of them, and learned from them, and I'm going to share those lessons with you today. But one mistake I learned from early on was don't take no for an answer. Because I had a mentor at Fox, and when I told him my idea of producing a sitcom pilot, he said that it couldn't be done because I wasn't established. And for a while, I listened to him. There was a network system in place and rules had to be followed. So I took his no, and it felt crappy. This idea seemed inspired to me, and between John and Vince doing Swingers and Ben and Matt doing Good Will Hunting, I was inspired to make things happen for myself. Are you willing to let someone else tell you what you can and cannot do in your career? I wasn't. So while it felt like all hope was lost, I was determined to prove him wrong and make this dream come true. Remember in the last video, I told you I would tell you how thinking outside of the box got me an acting job? Well, here's what I did. I approached my friend Jen, who was also an actress, about creating a show as a vehicle for us. Because my mentor said we couldn't do a pilot, I suggested we do a live sitcom. No one was doing that, probably because you need staff writers. So I called the top 5 agencies and asked if they had any baby writers they were grooming who had never worked in a writing room before and wanted the experience. These agents were cold calls. Top 5 agencies. We're talking Entourage's Eli Gold. And yet, we received over 100 spec scripts to read. We interviewed 10 writers, cut them down to 6 staff writers, gave them our Bible, which centered around a bar so there was only one set, and they wrote us a pilot, which we cast and then rehearsed. The Improv Theater was so impressed with our idea that they let us perform there weekly. We did the pilot for 4 weeks while rehearsing the second episode, which we performed for the next 4 weeks while we rehearsed the third episode, which we performed for the next 4 weeks. And by the third month, we had drawn the attention of some network execs, agents, and producers. So Jen and I decided that the actors deserved tape out of this at the very least. Despite what my Fox mentor said, we were going to shoot our sitcom pilot. We wanted to be able to give people the opportunity to move up with this project. So my director of photography was the operator for a 9-time Emmy Award-winning sitcom cinematographer. This was his chance to be DP. And he got me a full union crew from shows like Mad About You and Sister Sister. Our production designer was a set decorator who needed days to move up, and so on. Our DP also got us 3 pedestal cameras, a truck, and the truck operator for $7,500 instead of $15,000. And still I said, "That's great, Tom. Can I have the guy's number?" Well, sure enough, when Jen and I met with the guy and told him our story, he said, "You two remind me of my daughters. You could have everything for free. I'll even cover the truck operator." Great, right? But we still needed $20,000 to shoot our pilot. So we asked 1,000 people for $20. This was long before the days of Kickstarter, and we raised it. We'd be passionately sharing our story with a person in a pizza place, and someone listening in would hand us a $50. At the end of it all, our $20,000 pilot looked like a $1 million pilot. The pilot still had to go through the same network pitching process and did not get picked up, but I learned something. I loved the development and producing part as much as acting in the pilot. So after that, I decided I wanted to get into development. I gave myself 1 month to get a job in development using the same tools I share in Greenlight U, which I hope you'll join me for. But to give you a snapshot of what that looked like, I had been in LA 2 years, so I knew a decent number of people. Some I knew really well, some I didn't. But I reached out to all of them and told them my goal, to get a job in development in a month. And people gave me referrals to people they knew, and I called every referral. One of them had a job opening, and because of the relationship with our mutual friend, invited me to interview that day because they were pretty much done with the process. Well, the woman I interviewed with was Deborah Hill, who had produced The Fisher King, The Halloweens, and The Escapes from New York and LA, just to name a few. The only experience I had in development was my pilot. Well, I shared the story with her, and she said, "Listen, you are the least qualified person I've interviewed for this job, but your passion reminds me of myself when I started out, so you're hired." I got my goal in less than a month. These tools work. I learned a lot in that year I worked for Deborah as we produced Crazy in Alabama, and that's also when I was inspired to start writing. One of my scripts was produced by Lou Wells. He's an Emmy Award-winning producer of The West Wing. You did that intentionally. And I also produced a single-camera half-hour comedy that was a show within a show on MTV. Half was the reality part of making the show because Shayna Barker from Meet the Barkers was on our show as one of our recurring characters. And I am so grateful for all of these opportunities. And as you see, they didn't come from me being plucked out of obscurity and being thrust into the limelight. It doesn't happen like that.
Do you think she would not be prepared for that?
Right. The one word that is the commonality between all of my success is passion. I shared mine with everyone, but it's not enough to know you're passionate. There is one skill that turns your passion into jobs, gets you in the right doors, and gets your projects made so you can share them with the world. And if you don't master this skill, you're gonna get stuck and stay stuck. I mean stuck to the point that you'll probably give up. Well, that skill is storytelling. What did you learn about me from my monkey story in the first video? You're thinking about it. What did you learn about me from my story about getting my sitcom pilot made? I bet if I could hear your answers, they'd be exactly what I wanted you to learn about me. I have thousands of memories from my lifetime. I just chose to share the memories that reveal qualities about me. The ones I wanted you to discover without me listing them as if you were reading my resume. That would be boring, and you wouldn't get to see my personality. I'm sure you see that the value in sharing yourself through stories, and if you want to go deeper, I would love you to join us in Greenlight U. But even if you don't, that's fine too. Now, let's move on to the 12 real solutions for producing the new you. All 12 are on the PDF below, so download it as a visual reminder, because what I'm going to share is what will make the difference between your success or your failure. It is that crucial. So let's roll the first reel. Real solution number 1 is positive attitude. I start with this because if you're feeling stuck, bitter, resentful, desperate, envious, jealous, uninspired, wishy-washy, bored, I can go on, but the bottom line is communication is key to making contacts and getting work. When you communicate, your words are only 7% of communication, which means the other 93% is made up of 30% tonality and 55% physiology, which basically means your body language and your voice are giving you away, even if you're saying the most positive words. And it can give you away on such a subtle, unconscious level. So you must take the steps to repair your attitude. A positive attitude is a huge attractor, not only in our industry, but in life as well. Real solution number 2 is a mission statement. A mission statement is defined as a summary of the aims and values of a company, organization, or individual. When you write out your goals and values in a clear, concise statement, maybe attach a visual image that's in alignment with it, you have a tool that grounds you and keeps you positive when things get challenging. It takes courage to pursue a dream, and the mission statement reminds you to be courageous and mindful and respectful of your dream. Another secret that helps you overcome any fears you may have about pursuing the business stuff is somewhere in your mission statement, write about how your success will affect others. In other words, make it bigger than you. It's not just you getting work. It's the impact your work will have on others, like your family and friends, maybe kids if you have them, maybe a specific community. Perhaps your work is meant to impact the world. So put it somewhere where you can see it and let it be your driving force. Real solution number 3 is mentors. Now, I'm assuming you know where to get trained in your craft, so the mentors I'm referring to are business advice and guidance mentors. In most industries, mentors are provided to people. In our industry, you have to find them yourself. You can seek out people who are where you want to be, or people who hire you for your talent and request that they mentor you on the business side. If you're at A, or maybe you're further along, you're at G, and you want to get to Z, instead of figuring it out all on your own and having to learn from your mistakes, why not approach the people at Z and find out what they did to get there so you can have a direct path from A to Z? They already made the mistakes and learned the lessons, so benefit from their experiences. Getting industry business mentors will fast track your success because there's no one right way to make it in the entertainment industry. So find out from as many industry mentors as you can how they did it. The more answers you get, the more options you have to choose from that fit with your comfort level of pursuing work. That's correct. I said comfort level. There is no reason why this can't be easy, why this can't feel comfortable. When you have many success strategies to choose from, which all produce the results you want, choose easy. No one said this had to be a struggle. And you won't struggle when you have mentors guiding you. Real solution number 4 is branding. Marketing yourself with a personal brand is key in helping people hire you. People tend to ask me, how do I figure out what my personal brand is? There's really nothing to figure out. Your personal brand is you. You are unique. There is no other you. The art of creating your personal brand is a mixture of what 3 skills, what 3 personality traits, and what 3 personal passions you want to convey. When people want to hire you, they've already figured out that you have the talent and skill for the job. What they really want to know is, can I hang out with this person for 8 hours, 8 days, 8 weeks, 8 months, 8 years? Will this person fit in with our production family? Because there is that feeling of family on a production. So the goal of personal branding is connection and communication. You want people to feel like they relate to you, that you hear their problems and can solve them, and you can deliver something that will make them look like a hero. Real solution number 5 is networking. Even though networking is one of the most important things you can do, I saved it for number 5 because before I send you out in the world to network, whether it be in person, by phone, by email, or through social media, you have to have the first real solutions in place. Because if you don't have a positive attitude, a concise way of expressing your goals, advisors, and your clear brand, I don't feel confident sending you out to meet people. You've heard the expression, you only get one chance to make a first impression. So I trust you will implement the first 4 solutions quickly so you can get out there and network. Now, I know you want success to come fast so you can get paid to do what you love and feel fulfilled and be able to spill that out into the other areas of your life. So if you want success quickly and you understand from the first video in this series that it's who you know and that we're all 6 degrees of Kevin Bacon, then it will make sense to you that to meet more people faster, people who can hire you, or people who know people who can hire you, you have to be networking. Real solution number 6 is social media. Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, LinkedIn, Instagram, Google, Pinterest, Famous. I can go on, but you may already be feeling a little overwhelmed. And if social media feels overwhelming, if it feels like one more thing you just don't have time for, or you just don't care about it, I want to help. I want to help because this is not some pet rock fad that is going away. In fact, it is now becoming a determination factor in whether or not you get hired. Yes, and if you haven't already, you will be asked how many friends and followers you have, and somewhere out there, a producer will be checking your clout score. Does this make you feel queasy, frustrated, concerned for your privacy? That just means you need to be educated on how simple it is to get your brand out there on social media in a positive way, using privacy settings, and being conscious not to post anything you don't want public, all in a time frame of less than an hour a week. Once you have your personal brand, you treat social media like your personal commercial. Coke, Nike, Geico spend millions to build their brands on TV, billboards, magazine ads. Social media gives you the opportunity to build your brand for free and potentially be seen by millions worldwide. So instead of thinking about social media as a time suck or a burden or something to fear or dread, think of it as the greatest marketing gift you were ever given. You can choose to roll your eyes at the mention of Justin Bieber, but the fact is, he was discovered in 2008 by a talent manager who came across his video on YouTube. There are people who are specifically hired by the studios to discover talent on sites like YouTube and Funny or Die. So you should be involved in the making of the videos they are seeing. Now, I will go deeper into this in Greenlight U because it's so important for you, and I hope you will join us for that program. But the bottom line is this: it is time to embrace and educate yourself on social media because it can catapult your career, and because it's not only going to continue to expand your opportunities, but it will continue to expand your reach. Real solution number 7 is the internet. That's right. The internet is another free tool. It allows you to promote yourself via a personal website, a personal blog, outside resources like IMDb and online press releases, and it's also a great resource for research and education. If you call someone you will refer to, you may want to repeat anything important you said in the first 2 minutes, because chances are, as you're introducing yourself, they are already checking you out on IMDb as you speak. Once they're off the phone with you, they will probably do a Google search, and hopefully they will find a well-branded website that you have created. The internet provides free tools for that as well, like WordPress.com, which gives you the ability to create a website for free. On the flip side, the internet helps you research the people who you want to meet and work with. The deeper you research them, the more commonalities you're likely to find. The more commonalities you find, the more confident you will feel about knowing what to talk about once you connect. Hey, the internet is giving you access to me right now. Real solution number 8 is collaboration. I don't know where the idea came from that it's normal for people in our industry to go at it alone. If you think that working from your home office alone, well, maybe with a pet or a plant, with only a phone and a computer is normal, you're wrong, especially when you start talking to the plant. You should not be pursuing work in a bubble. What successful company can you name where there is no collaboration? Companies have CEOs who meet with vice presidents, who meet with department heads, who meet with supervisors, who meet with employees, and they collaborate to create the best ideas and outcome for the company's mission statement. Companies have mission statements. They have yearly, quarterly, monthly goals, and the employees work together to meet them. So if 2 minds are better than 1, how much better are 4 or 10? When you start collaborating with like-minded people who are using these same business building blocks, you suddenly have 2, 4, 10 times the ideas. You have people to attend networking events with, to be your wingmen.
You can be my wingman anytime.
You have people who want to generate work suddenly figuring out, hey, we can create our own work. Let's do a web series and put it on YouTube. Collaboration is inspiring, it's creative, and it's addictive. Because being around a group of highly motivated people will kick your butt in the best possible way. Real solution number 9 is patience. Now, patience is a mindset, one that most people in our industry struggle with. I'm running out of time. I'm getting too old. This is dragging out. I'm doing so much. Why hasn't it paid off yet? This is one of the toughest things I'm going to ask you to do. But I'm still going to ask. I'm asking you to let go of those concerns and trust. Trust that if you believe in those goals and those values in your mission statement, that when the time is right, it will pay off. Because in order to stay positive so you are attracting people to hire you, you have to be patient and enjoy the journey. Because the alternative is really hard, and I wouldn't wish it on anyone. Be patient, trust in your talent, trust in the timing, trust you will be okay, trust in yourself, trust in your dream. Real solution number 10 is accountability partners. Accountability is defined as responsibility to someone for some activity. You can't have success without action. And unfortunately, all it takes is a single unexpected rejection to send you spiraling down into a negative place of inaction, self-pity, doubt, and worse. So you can go out to the world with your positive outlook, your mission statement, the wise words of your mentors, a great personal brand, a strong social media presence, a collaboration team, and while out networking, one individual who's got his own issues says something that takes the wind out of your sails. The book, The 4 Agreements, teaches us to be impeccable with our words, but not everybody is. Some people feel better about themselves when they are knocking you down. And I'll tell you right now, that is their problem, projecting on you. It is not you. So you must protect yourself from those people so that you don't get stuck in a rut. And to protect yourself, you find an accountability partner. A person who knows what actions are on your list for the week, with whom you check in either daily or weekly, as you would a supervisor in a company. So if you start going down that dark rabbit hole because someone knocked you into it, your accountability partner can pull you out. Again, if you want results quickly, you must have consistency in your actions. Consistency is what separates the working professionals from the hobbyists. Because if you're not consistently taking action as you would if you went to work every day for a company, you are treating your talent like it's a hobby. An accountability partner helps you moving forward, meeting deadlines, and feeling empowered. Real solution number 11 is monetizing your expertise. Everyone is an expert at something, which means you are an expert at something. I'd venture to say you're an expert at many things. The question is, how do you monetize this expertise? Over the years in Greenlight U, I've taught people how to monetize their expertise by creating ebooks and products to sell online. Another great use for the internet, making money while you sleep. But you might be saying, Jessica, how can I say I'm an expert if I haven't won an Academy Award or worked with Tom Cruise or even made any money at my craft? I can't write an ebook on my craft. Well, I had a director of photography say to me, even though I know I have the talent of the DPs who are famous, how can I write a book on being a DP when I don't feel like people will see me as an expert? I pointed out that he had moved from a really small town to Los Angeles, which is something that thousands of people would love to learn about. So he wrote an ebook on that. I had an actress say, how can I write a book about being an expert actress when I have no big credits? I pointed out that she had a lot of day jobs to support her acting. So she wrote an ebook that interested a lot of people on how to get a day job that doesn't suck. So to monetize your expertise, think outside of the box. What are you an expert in that people would want to read about? And then create a catchy title, because a great title generates sales. Real solution number 12, the 3 commitments. The first is commitment to your financial stability. We discussed that in the first video. You're in this for the long haul, so you must maintain financial stability so you never have to feel desperate for work. The second commitment is committing to continue your education. Actor Johan Erb said, instead of being in the knowing and feeling like I know what is going on, I feel like I'm in a place of learning, a continuous process of learning. This was said during an interview when I asked him how he maintained his positivity. If you think you know it all, you're closed off and limited. If you are consistently seeking out new learning, you continue to grow and move forward. And moving forward is what the third commitment is all about. The third commitment is the commitment to your success. And it is really, really hard sometimes to keep that commitment when you don't have a permanent job to go to where you punch a clock every day. We are creative people. These business tools weren't the gifts we were given. We have to implement them and practice them over and over, learning from our mistakes until they feel like second nature. But as I've said before, this isn't a get a job quick training. The average time it takes my clients to truly feel they've made it when starting from scratch is 2 years. Now that may sound like a long time to you, but if you follow my methods and you commit your efforts to succeed in the industry, it will be so worth it. I remember the first time I was cast as a lead in a film. It was 2 years after I moved to Los Angeles. It was shot on location in Oregon, and after having my hair and makeup done, as I stood in my wardrobe on that rustic ranch grass, I noticed a deer grazing, and that there was a rainbow in the distance. And I thought, how beautiful, how perfect, how lucky am I to be here? And while it wasn't luck that got me there, but the work I'd put into creating the relationship with the producer and the director, you know what? It was okay to feel lucky in that moment. Because as the camera crew set up and the sound department did their sound checks and the director consulted with the first AD, I knew in that moment that my journey of my dreams coming true had just begun. And my journey continues both creatively and as someone who now gets to give back by sharing what has worked for me and for thousands of the clients I've helped. And when you make the same commitment we made to have a career in life that fulfills us beyond expectation, you will know that your moments will continue, and everything about that is magical. I mean, I could reference magical moments all day, but I know you're waiting to hear about the elusive it factor, what it really is, and how you can project it. So here's the secret that Hollywood doesn't want you to know. The elusive it factor, anyone can have it. They don't want you to know that because it's their easy way out. So when your agent calls, they can just say, well, he just didn't have it. It's easier than saying he was boring, he was unattractive, he had BO. While you may perceive Hollywood as cutthroat and cruel, most people don't want to be cruel. Most people who hire you want you to be the one. Because if you are, you've just made their job easier because the job is now filled. I was fascinated by the elusive it factor when I first moved to LA. It was something I heard about so often. And as someone who is always looking for knowledge, I wanted to know what this it factor was. And the answer that I uncovered may sound a little airy-fairy to you, but stick with me. Because in the end, the result I'm about to share is made up of a very logical formula. The elusive it factor is an aura, an energy field around a person. Now again, that might sound a little woo-woo for you, and you may be thinking, Jessica, this isn't a sci-fi movie, this is my life. How am I supposed to create an it factor energy field around me? Well, I'm going to tell you. There are scientific studies around proof of auras or energy fields, but you've actually experienced it when you can feel someone staring at you. Or when someone is smiling to your face, but your gut knows this person does not like you. Or when a woman is pregnant and people say, you have a glow. That glow is the it factor. The glow is what I call the peace formula. It is made up of a mixture of pride, excitement, appreciation, confidence and ease. I first discovered the peace formula, popularly known as the It Factor, at the premiere party of The Mexican. I didn't know what it was yet, but in a party filled with hundreds of people, it was as if Brad Pitt and Jennifer Aniston, who were together at that time, and Julia Roberts each had their own spotlight following them. But it wasn't harsh like a spotlight. It was the glow I was speaking of. The three of them were literally glowing amongst a sea of people. I recognized it immediately. But with my analytical mind, I thought, well, of course they have it now. They're famous. But would someone have said that they had it when they walked into their first audition? Then a few years later, when I sat in on the casting process of a film I'd written, we'd seen many actors for a particular role. And then an actor walked in, a complete unknown, not even the best read. But he had it. I mean, he had that aura, that glow, and he got cast. And I never forgot the first moment I met him. Cut to years later when I was coaching and the It Factor came up. I'd now known this actor for many years. He continued to glow, and his It Factor got him job after job. So I analyzed him, and I analyzed that night at the premiere party. What were the commonalities between Brad, Jen, and Julia and this lesser-known actor? When I analyzed the actors at the premiere, Brad and Julia had pride in their work and excitement about the feedback and the accolades, and appreciation, gratitude for all the people who came out to support them, and for those who contributed to making the film. Confidence. I don't know if they were born with it or if it came as their stars rose, but they had it. And ease, they had a sense of ease as they greeted everyone as if there weren't a care in the world, just the ease of experiencing that moment. Jen, well, she was already a star in her own right, giving her that same confidence, ease, and appreciation. The pride and excitement she was feeling that night, I'd say it was a mirror of the man she loved. Now, compare that to the lesser-known actor. Having known him for over a decade, his life is centered around a focus on positivity and happiness. Because of it, he encompasses everything in the peace formula. Now, if you want to project the It Factor when you walk in a room, you must mix up your own peace formula. Let's say you're going in for an interview. What can you take pride in? Can it be the body of work you have? Can it be a specific skill? Can it be that you're proud of the preparation you did for the interview? It could be non-industry related. Perhaps you're proud of what a great parent you are. Whatever makes you feel proud, you want to get in touch with that feeling and bring it in the room. Next, you want to stack onto that feeling, the feeling of excitement. What makes you feel excited? This interview? Oh, maybe that makes you feel nervous. But did you know that the only difference between fear and excitement is your perception? The same things are happening in your physiology. So what if when you think you feel nervous, instead you tell yourself, no, this isn't nerves, this is excitement. Time to stack that on. And now we stack on the feeling of confidence. Okay, so confidence is one of the trickier ones for many because confidence comes from a deep within and was formed or broken down earlier in your life. That said, if you battle with self-confidence, you could still mix it into your peace formula by focusing on something you're completely confident in. For example, can you tie your shoe? Are you sure? Are you completely confident that you can tie your shoe? Great. So right before you walk into your room for the interview, as you step over the threshold, think to yourself, heck yeah, I can tie my shoe. Are you smiling right now? I mean, does that seem a bit silly? Maybe, but smiling and feel silly feeds into excitement, adding to the mix. And the ease will come from knowing you've done what you've done to prepare for this interview, and now you're gonna let it go and just be in the moment with this person, and your energy field will glow brightly. Think back to the pregnant woman. She's glowing because she's proud, excited, appreciative of the gift of life she's been given, confident that she's gonna be a mom, and at ease that this miracle is just growing by design. You can have it. And the best way to ensure that it's there when you need it is to live a daily practice of gratitude and happiness. Now, I want you to know this, that what I'm teaching you isn't physically challenging, it isn't technically challenging, it isn't unauthentic or unrealistic. Everything I'm teaching you are basic, proven business strategies, tools, and mindsets. And while I could talk about this all day, it's all in Greenlight U. So if you like what you're learning so far, I really hope you're going to join us. Okay, let's review what we've covered today. You learn to market yourself through a story, which after a little practice will change your networking, your interviews or your auditions, your experience working with people on projects, and expand your longevity in this industry. I also gave you 12 real solutions for producing the new you. As you saw, they all build on each other. And once you have them all in place, you want to keep those reels projecting consistently if you want to keep building on your success. And then I revealed what the it factor really is and how you can project it by using my PEACE formula. As a reminder from the last video, Walt Disney said, "I never called my work an art. It's part of show business, the business of building entertainment." And before any shot, what does the director say? Action. So here's your action challenge. We're still giving away 3 scholarships to my online Greenlight U before the 4th video training. So if you already know you want to join me to win one of those first 2 scholarships, make a video sharing your dream of what you want to do in the entertainment industry. And then one thing you learn from this training that you now know you need to help you accomplish it. Post your video on YouTube, then come back here and put in the link in the comments below. And then have your friends vote for you. Their thumbs up, their comments are votes. The 3rd scholarship is for the Technology Challenged. Share the same info as the video people, your dream and what you learned from this training that you now know you need help to accomplish. And then write it in the comments below, and I'll be judging the winner of that. Now, I hope I've provided value for you today in this video training, and if you feel I have, share it with at least 3 entertainment industry people you know using the links below. Not only is there enough work out there, your odds of getting it grow significantly when the people you know understand the same foundation building blocks that you now understand. It's the equivalent to speaking the same language. We all need to build a community of supportive, helpful, creative people who can move up ladders we build together. In our next video, I'm going to address the questions that I get regarding what it really takes to make it in entertainment. And also, you're going to get to see some clips from my reality show, Lights, Camera, Action, where contestants who are just like you, people who knew their skills but didn't know the business, got to experience Greenlight U firsthand. You'll hear their experiences and results with getting mentors, making calls, learning new tools, and implementing them in a really high-pressure situation. I know you'll get a kick out of the clips, so as you look forward to the next video, start implementing what you've learned today and take action. Okay, I'm in fuchsia, so I'm feeling very 80s hairband. Ow! Shout out to Bon Jovi. Companies have CEOs who meet with vice presidents, who meet with department heads, who meet with not survivors, although maybe they might feel like survivors. Motorcycles and airplanes, and I need some water. Pop up video, pop up, pop up. I'm going downstairs. You can't have sex. You can't have sex. No, you definitely can't have sex. Well, you can. You can. Actually, you can. But we're not going to talk about that today. What's the name of the thing? Sounds clear. Sounding a little pitchy. I don't know if Blake Shelton would pick me for his team. Team Blake. Team Adam. So torn. Actually, I like all 4 of them this year. It's tough. Energy. Okay, here we go. The commitments. You commit your efforts to succeed in the industry, it will be so worth it. We are rolling again. Rolling, rolling, rolling.
Keep those electrons rolling.
I love how my DP is singing with me. Next time we'll harmonize for you. At the peace, popularity, popular, poop. Okay.